Hello, this is Richie from the Metal Cell Podcast. I'm delighted to welcome John and Tom from Corrupt Moral Altar. How are we, lads?
Good, man.
Welcome to the show. And I have Jack here as my co-host.
Jack.
And
Hi, Jack.
Hello. This is John.
Jack will sort you out for grueling questions.
I'm a big fanboy, like so.
Yeah. So, I suppose let's start straight away with Patiently Waiting for Wonderful Things. It is a blistering album, so it is an EP.
Thank you.
Yeah, what you think, Jack?
Yeah, savage. It's a rager, like start to finish. Like it kicks in lovely, and then it was the single was the second track you released was the single, wasn't it? You smell expensive.
Yeah, you smell expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, class. Love the way that one kicks in. Almost like. It runs perfectly in from the first one. It's almost like starts with a breakdown or something. So the whole EP works really nice together, like as a piece as well.
Were you working long? Were you working long on it, lads?
I don't know. John doesn't know. He wasn't there for most of it. I don't know. Yeah, kind of. It's probably the longest we've spent on anything, but like we weren't actively. Like saying, right, we need to finish writing this, because it was the first kind of stuff we were writing with Ollie Turner, who joined the band a couple of years ago. So it was just kind of like when we eventually had enough stuff, we were like, oh, these songs will fit on an EP. There was lots of stuff we were jamming, riff ideas that never ended up making it into any of the songs. But yeah, I guess we were on and off writing it for a good 8-9 months or so.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to Chris and Adam as well, who aren't here at the moment. Are they? They might make a guest appearance. But it is savage, ferocious. You could throw loads of descriptions at it. You have been getting rave reviews, I've noticed, right across the board. How does that feel?
Pretty good. How do you feel about it, John?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm not sure when you started recording it. I can't remember. I think I was back and forth on tour, and it just kind of came together. I think we had that one Maximum Bastardy song that we had that for that Manchester gig.
What gig is this? I can't remember the last time I played a gig.
Breadshed in March 2019.
Wow.
It can't have been that long ago.
Yeah, probably was.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Like people saying nice things about it. We were kind of, because we've not released anything for like 3 years, the danger was like, oh, will anyone even really care? And so yeah, it's nice to see that people enjoyed it, really.
Yeah, there's always that nagging thought in the back of your mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
As the scene kind of moved on. I love one description by the Razor Edge. It says, like a psychopathic dwarf brandishing a butcher's knife, it will carve you up. It sums it up perfectly, really.
Describing the EP, or John?
What?
So I said nothing.
To drink.
I love the album cover as well, lads. I don't know where you came up with the idea for that, but really suits it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we were talking to that guy. His name is Fred Stoney. We were talking to him years and years ago when we were thinking about who to use to do
Mechanical Tides.
The artwork for Mechanical Tides. I think he just never got back to us, but like we've always liked his artwork. Reese, our singer, just trolls Instagram, like looking at different artists and stuff. And we just, for this one, we just said, oh, why don't we just drop him a message? And like, because we didn't know that this was going to be released on a label, so we didn't want to have like a custom piece done, but we just said, like, these are some images we like, can we license it for the art? And he said, yeah. We sorted that out and just edited it a little bit, to put our logo in and stuff. But yeah, Fred Stoney, he's really good. You should check him out if you're into all that weird stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty striking image, like.
So the image was there before the music, then, in other words?
It was, yeah, but we just can't vote.
Yeah,
yeah. If you don't mind, just going through the 4 tracks, just maybe give us an insight on each one. Cathedral of Porn That riff is unreal, isn't it? We've a band back in Ireland here called Baylor. Did that riff remind you of them, Jack?
Yeah, kind of like slightly not hardcore, but like it had a certain feel to it, like just kind of good fun as well. You know, that one of those kind of riffs that get you going. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like it's almost like a happy version of Cursed in a way. That start bit.
yeah,
Happy Cursed.
The song title's a quote from Louis Theroux, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, I can't remember.
I think it's a quote from Louis Theroux. He walked into.
Probably a swingers party, knowing him.
Yeah, actually, that might have been it. Yeah, Louis met the swingers.
yeah. Those Weekender documentaries, like
Yeah, something like that.
fucking hell.
And the lyrics, can any of you remember?
Reese is the man.
Reese is the man, yeah. Fair enough. The second song then, You Smell Expensive. That was the home shot video. That must have been a bit weird, was it?
Oh, that we actually did the home style video for Maximum Bastardy. The You Smell Expensive had like there was this guy Dan Dolby who's in this band Mastiff.
Okay.
He makes like little videos for like APF releases.
Oh yeah, he did that.
That was all just like buildings and bridges just being destroyed, kind of.
Oh right, yeah, that's that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Lyrically, I don't know what goes on in Reese's head, so like
it was a fitting video for the song. Yeah.
It's hard for me to even get an explanation out of Reese when I ask him about lyrics. I'm like, if we're going to do interviews and stuff, I need to kind of know what these songs are about. He's like, I don't know.
Probably doesn't know himself. Like.
He does have a meaning behind it and stuff, but like it's hard getting it out of him in a coherent fashion.
He'll speak in riddles and
like any good front man.
Yeah, exactly.
And who was involved in writing that song, lads? You Smell Expensive?
I think that was pretty much all Ollie who wrote that one. I mean, generally, like song arrangement, I have quite a bit of a role in saying, "Oh, why don't we play this riff but with a blast beat, or like speed it up, or put a little stop there." But riff wise, it's just mostly all Ollie for that one. John, because he was away for quite a bit of the writing, he kind of wrote the noisy lead parts that go over it and stuff. But yeah, you smell expensive all of it, really.
Yeah. Okay, so Maximum Bastardry is next. That riff at the kind of 2.5 minute mark to finish the song.
That's all Cooke, 100%.
Unbelievable.
Solid John Cooke.
That was one of mine.
Yeah.
I think I'd had that for a while.
Yeah, funnily enough, I think you showed us that song, and then we were like, oh, let's make an EP because Ollie's got enough like kind of songs. We're like, oh, there's one complete song. Let's finish the other 4 and do an EP. So John was like, here you go, here's a song. Now I'm off on tour for 200 days.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love the way
when they come back, you better be done. That kind
love the way the accents come through in the vocals as well, especially on that Maximum Bastardry one. It was
that's always what we try and do, actually, incorporate a bit of. I mean, we're not Scousers. Any Scouser would call us plastic Scouser or woolly battle because we're mostly from Southport. But
I'm also not a Scouser at all.
That's true. Yeah.
The Brummie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we try and keep a bit of our own accent in, just a bit of Northwest charm.
Yeah, definitely can hear that.
Yeah, there was a nice bit of death metal in that at the end. One of my favourite songs is the next one. It's Spirit Breaker.
Yes.
That is unusual, and it is a wild ride. Yeah. I think it caught everybody on the hop initially, the opening sequence, and then just goes into mayhem then again. But the singing section at the end is fantastic as well.
Oh, thanks.
How did that song come about? I hope you have some insight into that one, lads.
Yeah, I mean, that one actually was probably, like when it kicks in to the song properly and it goes fast, that was probably the first of all of Ollie's tracks that we started writing. So kind of like, from that bit up until where it goes into the kind of black metal ending, that was like the first of Ollie's stuff that we wrote for the EP. And then the start bit was just like Adam was just dicking around in between, rehearsing other tracks, and we were like, let's just have a little play with that, stick a phaser on, do a bit of clean intro, and then we just thought, we'll stick it on the start of that song, and then the ending is just revisiting that riff, but in a black metal style. And we've always incorporated like clean chanty vocals into like all of our releases in some way or another. The inspiration for that one was I basically said I want it to sound like The Gift. Do you know Old Man Gloom?
No, I wouldn't know.
Well, if you check out the song The Gift, you'll be like, CMA just ripped off Old Man Gloom. Big fan.
Your secrets.
It's a bit of a homage really.
Okay,
I think Old Man Gloom did it better, but there you go.
A lot of that singing was actually Tom as well.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it's me sat in front of my monitors with the microphone.
Well, let's have a listen to it then, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Can you hear it, yeah?
Yeah.
I was just thinking there, a saxophone there at the end would be beautiful.
Wait a sec. Do you not play saxophone, Tom?
I do, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have put one on the end as well. Damn.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah,
play
God.
saxophone?
I do, yeah.
In your other, is it Lake Baikal or Baikal?
Yes, I did. In fact, I did some sax on the last CMA record as well.
Ah.
One little bit.
And the new, what's it called? I can't
You
remember.
get the name, Blood from the Soul.
Yeah. Yeah. You play
Yeah.
saxophone.
That's funny because Jack's band Crows are there of a song called Scaltine, and there's this filthy saxophone.
Yeah.
Um,
Some smooth sax in the middle of a doom track, like.
yeah, and actually,
sax in metal is a big thing now. It's all around.
I'd love to hear more of it. Yeah,
You put
Yeah.
sax on a new Venomous Concept noise track that's coming out as well.
Yeah, I'm edging my way into everything with the saxophone, basically.
Yeah, just fucking nudge it in everywhere. Like.
I think it started with, you're familiar with a power violence band from Leeds called Gets Worse?
no,
No, they're very good. Check them out. They did an EP with me called The Blues. I was like, hey, seeing as it's The Blues, put sax all in it. And they're like, okay, yeah. And there you go. So I was like, all right, I'm going to play sax and more distorted, horrible music.
are you just trained yourself, Tom? Yeah, or
No,
did you go
actually,
lessons?
I had lessons. I've played it since I was 11.
Oh wow, okay, cool.
But since I turned probably like 19, 20, I didn't really play it for a while because I was away at uni and I was like playing just in like metal and grind bands really. So it's nice to.
I'm trying to get you to play on everything at the moment.
Yeah,
May as well.
And the track then that finishes off the EP is "I Am an Ocean of Wisdom." What a finisher! That was probably an obvious choice. Was it to finish the album?
I don't know really.
Can you remember how we?
Between that and Spirit Breaker, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were considering Spirit Breaker as the last one because obviously it's like big epic ending or whatever. But I think we were struggling to place "I Am an Ocean of Wisdom," but I think we put it last because it goes from, I don't want to say intelligent, but Spirit Breaker is obviously a little bit more thought out structure wise, and then Ocean of Wisdom just brings the IQ right back down by basically playing like one with 90% of the whole song. So it's a fuck you to us and everyone else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And how much work did you have to put into it, Tom, in relation to mixing, mastering, the whole lot?
I probably spent, well, aside from like our first demo and EP that we did, I probably spent the least time mixing this one out of all our records. Don't know, it just kind of, everything sounded a lot better at source than our previous things, so there's a bit less effort for me to mix it.
And it was mastered by Russ Russell.
Yeah, so I didn't even have to do any mastering. So
Yeah.
it's the first time we've had some stuff mastered by someone else.
Just waited.
Why did you go that route?
I think I just can't be asked, really. No, I wanted a fresh pair of ears on it, really.
Yes, always helps.
Because we started recording it, well, we did like the bulk of the music back in October 2019, and Reese finished the vocals off probably like April, May time. So by that point, I was just like, I just want a fresh pair of ears on it, and like Russ just did a really good job. It's probably the first time I've heard something that I've mixed that someone else has mastered that I've been properly happy with how the master sounds. So thanks, Russ. You're a stand-up guy.
But have you probably have songs kept back as well? Have you?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
we've got a 17 minutes.
It's about 15 minutes.
15. Yeah, I've got a 15-minute industrial track, and I don't even know any. I've probably got another 11, 15, maybe.
Yeah, basically, John has just got like a library of songs that are getting slowly moved up the queue to be made.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got probably another album's worth including
Really?
industrial track.
Yeah.
But it's the reason we haven't recorded it yet is because it's dead fast, and I need to get better at drums. Basically.
Fuck's sake, John.
Yeah, they're a bit different. The songs are in a different tuning, and they're just like super fast in parts, and but still kind of weird CMA kind of timings and
But
But
it's-
we've always kind of mixed it up along the way anyway.
Yeah.
You know, in the previous releases, so nothing. I suppose you can throw in a 15-minute industrial track, and it will still be
Why not?
like.
But as Jack said, like the EP sounded like you were having fun as well.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of what we always have to do.
if it isn't fun, you do it.
Last album was probably less fun because it was so dark and punishing to record and mix. So it was less fun. I still enjoyed doing it, but it's not. The last album wasn't really
It was hell.
fun. it was and is hell.
It was just
Playing most of those songs live is still hell. It's painful.
Yeah.
Do you like them, or are you fond of the album, or do you have regrets?
Yeah, still am. I mean, after we finished it, I probably listened to it loads because
How do you pronounce it actually?
It's Unoya.
Unoya. Okay.
Yeah, I think. I'm going to go with that. Yeah.
I'm not saying anything because every time I say it, you take the piss.
Do you know what? It's
Unoya?
definitely Unoya. I changed our WhatsApp group. We have two. We have Corrupt Meme Affair, which is CMA, but for memes. And also because someone billed us wrong as Corrupt Mortal Affair or something.
Corrupt Mortal
Affair. And we have the serious one, which used to be called CMA Serious Business, but now it's Unoya, but spelled phonetically, just to make sure everyone remembers how it's said.
Yeah, that was a digital release for you back in 2017. What made you go with vinyl CD with this EP?
Well, we almost did the same with this one. We were just going to put it online, but then our friend Damien, who's in Video Nasties, who are also on APF Records,
Shout out.
He showed it to name drop. He showed it to Fieldy, and he got in touch and was like, "Heard the EP."
Fieldy's really nice as well, so
yeah. We weren't even fussed about having it on CD, but he's like, "Oh well, a lot of my people who follow the label, they love to buy CDs still, so can I do a CD?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fine." It's just our first album only came out on CD, and we really wanted it to come out on vinyl, so that's kind of why we did the second one. We actually pressed it on vinyl ourselves. Don't know why we did that, but so this one was nice to have it on both, really, and he sent us a copy of the CD as well. It actually came out very nice. So.
Yeah, and to splatter vinyl is nice as well.
Yes, I've received my copy.
the original.
How many pressings did you go for?
It's done 300. There's 200 on splatter, and there's like 100 on black.
But it wasn't like the truck destroyed that had all of on.
The first pressing got completely destroyed, I think, because unfortunately the truck carting them over to the UK crashed. And
Something happened.
the cargo was destroyed, I think. So
Jesus.
that's what it was delayed a bit because the plant had to repress it.
Who did you go with? Because we're always intrigued by the old vinyl affair over in Ireland, especially me.
I'm assuming it's probably GZ Media that pressed it, but I think Feely uses a broker. I think most people just use brokers now, don't they?
In Europe somewhere?
I don't know. It might have been a UK broker, but they obviously don't just communicate with GZ Media in Czech Republic. Pretty as far as I'm aware, most records are made there. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, like APF records have done really well. The Video Nasties, as you said, Beggar, Possessor, and Under. They've had a really good year.
Yeah, like he puts a lot of effort into promoting his bands, and obviously,
He's a really nice guy, and he's like straight up with you, and you get the feeling he's not ripping you off. You know.
Nice.
Don't have to ask him for sales figures or anything. He's just like, every once in a while, he's like, hey, this is how the sales are going, guys. Oh, cheers.
Really, yeah.
Don't even have to, try and pull that information out of you. So,
So, I mean, John, we'll say back in 2019, before COVID, how were you balancing life between so many bands? Or were you?
I wasn't. Well, whenever I came back, I'd always try and meet up with Tom and record. I've moved house that many times in the last 3 years, I think. Well, I think I've been living in Southport 2 years now. I was back living in Birmingham at one point, and but, it's a struggle.
Cooke, no, fix the boat.
Yeah, well, I've got to fix the boat now. But I just try to put as much in as I can, especially with like CMA guys, because we're all friends as well, So whenever I'm back off tour, I just come around. I've usually got a bunch of songs, and me and Tom just jam really
And you
together like that.
And when did you meet up at Napalm Death as such, as a mate? Probably was it back in the 2000s?
I've known Shane, Danny, Barn, Mitch since 2006 or 2007. Okay. And I used to be there. I was a van driver, tour manager, merch guy, tech.
Oh, Jesus, you worked your way right through then.
Yeah. I also filled in for Shane on bass in 2012. I filled in for Barney for a few songs in 2010 when he was sick.
Barney?
Yeah, I actually played everything except the drums.
Fucking
After you're taking over. I remember actually, John, I remember seeing you on the Death Crusher tour, I think, with Carcass a few years back.
Yeah. Where was that?
And I saw you.
That was in Vickers Street, was it?
Vickers Street.
Yeah, I saw you then.
Dublin.
Yeah, I was at that as well.
Yeah. But I remember, because, Joe, sometimes you're just watching. I'm weird anyway. I just watch the stage setup, and line checks and whatever. But I just noticed that you were doing all the line checks and stuff. And this is before I knew that Mitch was out for a while. And then you came back on. I was just like, oh, there's that dude. He's putting in he's working all night, work to the bone, and now he's playing with Napalm Death as well, crazy stuff.
Well, we always got to check our own instruments anyway. Shane does, Danny does.
Yeah,
it's just easier, Yeah. But
yeah, an old school kind of hard working mentality, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit different now because Shane's got a bass amp. At one point, he refused to use a bass amp for years. But so we got a tech now that sets that up sometimes. So.
Yeah, I saw ye in Brutal Assault, not last year, the year before that.
Oh, was that when the desk overheated?
You're asking the wrong guy because I was up at the front, demented. But anyway, might have been. Was it Barney came out and apologised to the crowd at the start, saying, I know that you probably all don't fucking like Napalm Death. And then...
I don't know why that was. He's probably just taking the piss.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But we were all dying laughing. We thought it was hilarious. But yeah, that was Brutal Assault 2018. It must have been.
Yeah, I think... It was that hot. Was it really
it was roasting, man. Yeah, it was fucking roasting.
Desk overheated and basically cut all the sound apart from my guitar amp, I think.
Right.
And so we had to end the song early or something, and it was really confusing. Basically, we had no idea what was going on. Apparently, the desk caught fire or something.
That's mad. Don't remember that.
You had your fun anyway, Richie.
Oh yeah, 100%. That was probably 14 hours drinking at that stage. And then Venomous Concept as well, John, either released this year as well.
Yes, Politics versus the Erection. Yeah, that came out in July, I think. And Tom was drumming for Venomous in last year.
As on tour, yeah, Tom?
Yeah. There was Brujeria and Venomous and Aggression and Sangre. It's good. First bus tour for me. Very good.
Cool. And you was it hard to kind of get to know the songs, or?
Not really.
This is or something.
It wasn't hard for them to, stay in my head structurally, but I wasn't used to doing just solid D beats non-stop. I was always used to tempo changes down to slower stuff, so it was just a bit of a getting the stamina up of just D beating for 45 minutes straight. So.
And you knew? Would you know Kevin and Danny particularly well? Obviously, Shane, you'd know.
Well, actually, Danny's not in Venice anymore, is he?
Yeah, Danny Lorca didn't do that tour.
I had met him a couple of times, though, when he still was in the band, because CMA played a few shows with Venomous. But so I met Shane a few times and met Kevin a few times, but obviously I know him a lot better now that I've been on tour with him for nearly 4 weeks. So.
The first time you met Kevin Sharp, you upset him.
I stayed up all night drinking in Scotland, and it was very loud.
What happened?
We played in Scotland, and we were at Bannerman's, which has an apartment above it, and it was the first night of 4 shows with him, and just stayed up all night drinking and being very loud and leery, and I think he just wanted to go to bed. So
yeah. For the whole next day, Kevin was making. Was it Reese? He's making his life hell.
I think they were all just punching me all day.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up Bannerman's, actually, because Tom, you worked on a band that have a lot of friends over in Ireland, to put it mildly, Kingwitch.
Oh yes. Mm.
You mixed and mastered. Was it Under the Mountain?
Yeah, the first record.
Yeah,
I mixed and mastered that. The album they've just done, Body of Light, I mastered that. But Jamie,
that's a brilliant album
with the guy at the studio. Yeah, cool guys. But Jamie's really sound.
Shout out to Jamie and Laura.
Yes, they are lovely people, and Lyle as well. I met Lyle up in.
Oh yeah. They've hit Ireland a few times, man. We love having them over there. Along with Dog Tired as well, and Razor Sharp, Death Blizzard. You probably know a few of those bands, you lads.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And how did you get to work with Kingwitch? Did they approach you, Tom?
I would have to check my emails from about 4 years ago. I think I just got an email from Jamie saying, I think he'd basically done a mix of the album, and he wasn't too happy with it. In fact, do you know what? The old bassist used to be in a band called June, a guy called Simon. And,
you produced. Did you do their stuff as well, June?
I did. I mastered the first LP, recorded the next EP, and mixed it. And I mixed the Asheron album, mixed and mastered that. But yeah, Simon, who was in June, joined Kingwitch, and he actually messaged me about mixing the first Kingwitch album. But then I think Jamie wanted to do it himself, but then he came back to me and said, I'm not too happy with it. So he came down to Southport, and we just spent basically a solid weekend just mixing it, because he'd already half mixed it on his computer, so he couldn't leave his computer with me. So he's like, right, we've got this weekend to finish it. And we just did 2 15-hour days, I think, and just finished it off.
Wow.
Yeah, we're good. First time, well, basically, I'd never used Pro Tools before, so right, okay, I wanted to do this. Jamie, show me how to make it do that. So it was a proper cooperative effort. It was pretty cool.
What's he like as a producer, John?
Tom?
Yeah.
He's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Does he work you hard? He must push you hard.
Yes, I do.
He knows when to stop. Yeah, no, it's a great work with Tom, because Tom comes from a different. Tom understands musical theory and stuff, which I don't. So,
yeah, much to everyone's dismay.
Yeah, so sometimes I come in with a crazy times riff, and he's like, "What timing's that?" I'm like, "I have no idea." And Tom mathematically works it out.
Yeah, usually I figure it out wrong, and then it turns out it's in 4/4.
Yeah.
So if a band comes to you, Tom, they probably want to surpass the heaviness they've already achieved, and they go to you. Would that be correct?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I like to make things sound as nasty as possible, but still listenable.
Yeah, with a layer of dirt on top.
Yeah, that's what I aim for anyway.
I mean, like, rough idea, how many bands have you done this year? A rough.
This year,
Yeah.
not very many at all. There's a lot of things that have come out this year that I've mixed last year.
Mm.
Well, in fact, John, I can check right now.
Because a lot of bands have, of course, because they're not touring, they're recording.
Well, not with me.
Okay.
I've done a few. Obviously, we finished the CMA thing off. Finished a few like whole things off.
Did the Bent C.
Yeah, actually, I did. Dirk from Megadeth has got this grime project called Bent C, which Shane Embry played bass on. So I've recorded that. It's not come out yet.
Nice.
Did some stuff for Blood from the Soul record, which is again Shane, Jacob from Converge, guy from Narsum,
Dirk and
Dirk again. Yeah.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So
you say you
There's
recorded that one?
about 20 odd releases that have come out this year that I've worked on anyway. So some of
we
them.
recorded those new Venomous songs as well, I think.
Oh yeah, we recorded some new Venomous concept tracks I was drumming on, but they're not completely done yet. So.
So 2019 was crazy then for you, yeah?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was done basically. I was trying to see how far I could push myself work-wise. So I was doing a lot of stuff with Dragged in Sunlight last year, and they like to record for
Ever.
at least 12 hours a day. But during recording with them, I was mixing the Video Nasties album as well. So I'd go in the studio at like 7 a.m, try and get a few hours in on the Video Nasties mix, and then Dragged in Sunlight would come in, and we'd then spend the rest of the day mixing, and then had a break for the 4-week tour with Venomous. So they got back, carried on recording, and then for another like 3 weeks, and then straight after that went on tour with CMA and Noisem for another 3 weeks as well. So
Jesus, non-stop.
There was like 3 or 4 months where I just didn't have an hour off.
I love the way you said you had a break, which was the Venomous tour for 4 weeks.
Yeah. That last year was kind of just like, let's see how far I can push myself without having a breakdown of sorts. So
Great idea.
I remember we were recording. We were probably doing some CMA demos or something. I heard Adam in the control room say, "I don't know how he's still alive." I was like, "Yeah, same." But so
we took Adam out as well, didn't we? Adam came out. Adam was on the Brujeria Venomous tour as well.
Yeah, he was a secret guitarist for one gig as well, because John and Shane, in the middle of the Venomous tour, had to fly to Iceland to do a Napalm gig.
Yeah.
So Adam, during the sound checks each night, had like 2 weeks to learn the set in sound checks.
Yeah.
He played guitar, and the sound guy, JB, from Aborted, played bass.
Yeah, he played bass. That was the debut concert of what was it, Kevin Sharp and the Ding Dongs or something?
Yeah. We came out stage, and like obviously, like I have not played with Venomous before, so people would be like, "Who's that guy on the drums? That's not Danny." But like Kevin Sharp walks out with me, some unknown dude, Adam, some unknown dude, and JB. Actually, someone at the front had an Aborted T-shirt on, so we were like, "Oh my god!" So, he was the most known guy out of the whole, the Ding Dongs. So Kevin's like, "Well, so as you can see, it's just me and Vika."
Jesus.
It was all good.
On Mechanical Tides, then you Jeff Walker of Carcass, Witchy, and
There's a Mitch Harris on that as well.
Mitch as well appeared in it.
Yeah, Mitch sang on Admit Defeat, and he wrote the lyrics to it as well. Which is really cool of him. And we had Jeff down. He did vocals on 2 tracks, was it?
Die Glock was one of them. It's a class song.
Yeah, that's the main one he came down to do, and then like he just stuck another bit on
Garland Green.
Garland Green, yeah.
Yeah.
There's, if you solo the tracks, you can proper hear the Scouse accent on that.
So
It's definitely eye-catching. It's an eye-catching contribution for sure.
yeah, and I
Hey.
love.
We just you got him to come in because we thought his voice would fit perfect there because he's a mate and stuff. So he was he came down. I think we got him some vegetarian sausage rolls or something.
And how do you decide then for a set list? Remember those things? Remember set lists, lads? Remember them things?
It's very difficult.
Yeah. Is there some tracks that have to go on? Like Whiskey Sierra, obviously, would be one of them.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a gig where we haven't played that, to be honest. I was just thinking about this the other day, actually. Like, can we please do a gig where we don't have to play that song? I like playing it. It's a fun song. There's lots of songs I want to include, but they might
Out of the new EP, you'll surely play the majority of that, will you? It has to be heard live, lads. You know?
Please don't make me play Spirit Breaker. We probably will, yeah. In fact, we've played Maximum Battery Live twice, maybe only once.
Did you play?
Oh no, sorry, not only once. We played it every night on tour last year. So we played it once with John, and then the tour we did last year we did that loads. But
so I couldn't do that tour because I was out Napalm or something. I think, it was. We were on tour. Actually, I think we were in the same countries at one point.
Really?
Yeah,
That's bizarre.
Yeah, we're like, oh, you in Germany today? Yeah, I'm in Germany today. Like, how far are you? Like, 600 miles. Or I've got me up for a beer then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll play most of the new ones. So I quite like to keep mix it up and keep some older stuff in.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a gig where we just literally play like the first EP or something. So
16 minutes still.
Yeah.
Is that the Luciferian Death Cult one? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, savage.
They were the songs that were written so we could play them while drunk. We can play the rest. We can play the rest of them while drunk, but they were written specifically.
Actually, specifically written to be completely hammered when you play them.
Yeah, that was basically the what do you call it when the manifesto when we first started.
And who came up with the band name actually?
Well, I was going to say funny story, but maybe it's not a funny story. Reese came up with it. And he said, "Oh, it's a quote from." The TV series / book, Pillars of the Earth. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yeah, that's it.
About building cathedrals in medieval times, but it's actually a misquote. It's meant to be.
Your moral mortar is corrupt.
Oh yeah, corrupt moral mortar. Yeah, but Reese misheard it and said, "Oh, corrupt moral mortar." They say it in Pillars of the Earth. I was like, "Oh, I like that show. Let's call it that." So it's wrong, but
it's a mistake.
Yeah.
The whole thing is a mistake.
Let's delete all the masters for everything we've ever done. Rename the band and start again.
And did you? And when you formed, then were the majority of you in Southport, Liverpool, or?
I was in Southport then.
Had you moved? Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved here for like 4 years, and then moved back down, and then came back again.
Yeah, I just moved back to Southport from Leeds. I think Reece just moved back from Leeds as well because we lived together for a bit. I just started my studio, and John came to because John was in Malevolent Creation at the time. I just got an email off him saying, "I'm going on tour with Malevolent in 2 days. I've just bought this bass. Can I come and try it to make sure it works at the studio?" It turned up with a 4-pack of Strongbow, and the rest
always helps.
Yeah. We used to drink so much Strongbow. I couldn't drink that now.
And did you have a kind of clear sense of what you wanted to sound like back then, or did you just gradually evolve?
I think the main thing was probably Iron Monkey, wasn't it, John?
Yeah.
Iron Monkey,
okay.
the way they were gonna be going, which was like they had like some faster stuff, didn't they?
They had some on the live kind of B-side thing they put out, Covered by Idiots. There was some new songs and they were like this fast punky stuff, but it sounded like Iron Monkey, and I really wanted to hear more of that, but unfortunately
Iron Punky, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sorry, guys.
I know.
You could leave.
Yeah, that was basically the idea for it. But I'd literally only just started playing drums by that point, so we were just basically limited by what I could attempt to bash out on a kit.
And who were your kind of heroes then, Tom?
In what respect?
In what you were aspiring to get to as a drummer?
Well, they don't have a drummer, but like I always based my drumming on agrophobic nosebleeds, which have obviously a drum machine. So that basically I learned drumming the wrong way around. I had no control whatsoever, but like learned to blast dead fast. I can't blast that fast anymore, but basically my inspiration for playing drums was the drum programming
Machine.
So there you go.
What is it? An Alesis 713 or something?
What's that? Oh, is that the drum machine that you So yeah, influenced by not real drums.
Like, what makes the UK scene more aggressive, more than we'll say other scenes across Europe? Maybe John, you could answer that.
I've just always found you got to struggle here playing gigs in a small band. You get like, you don't get paid. You get nothing. In Europe, you get treated so well. Ireland as well. It's so different to the UK. You get nothing usually, and I guess just it's a lot of anger in England about the UK in general.
Awesome. Didn't I see? Sorry, but didn't I see Barney from Napalm only talking about how European bands get like government assistance a lot and UK bands don't?
Yeah, they all get assistance. We don't get anything. I mean,
same in Ireland, yeah.
The Conservatives at one point they wanted to take the arts out of schools, didn't they? They want everyone to be a drone. Don't get me started on that. But yeah, it's just you struggle. You have to fight for everything, and if you're determined, you'll get somewhere. That's what I've always found.
Do you remember that time we played in London? That was part of like a little tour. It was like on a Monday night or something, and there was this band from Norway supporting us. We're like, "Have you come over for one gig on a Monday night in London?" And that was like a government-funded thing, and they were all like, they were all like, no offense to them or anything, but they were all like just like super happy, super positive. So we'd dragged ourselves down on the last day of the tour.
We were probably all in a car together or something.
Oh yeah, that's where one of our songs is called "Closed Casket" because I had a little Ford car or KA or whatever you call it. We used to drive in that down to London. There's one time when we played London every like 2 weeks. We went down in this Ford KA and just bungled all like the drum stands in and stuff. Like the hi-hat stand was just like sticking in between us. And someone said, if we crashed, it's going to be a closed casket funeral. Because Reese was always working.
That's like 3 hours.
Yeah, Reese was working every Sunday as well. So we went down on Saturday. He was like, right, I can do the gig as long as you drive me back to Southport. So afterwards, it's like 300 miles or something. So
Jesus.
300 miles there, 300 back, and then you get to go and do some work, and I get to be really tired.
And what's the scene like in Liverpool at the moment, lads? We wouldn't know too much about it. And does it differ much from other areas in the UK?
Well, it's nothing at the moment. But,
the last gig was in Liverpool. John, were you at that gig? The Video Nasty's album release?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I was going, I think.
Yeah, the last gig was in this venue called Sound, which was it's absolutely rammed. So like until then, like there was a bit of a good scene going on in Liverpool, but I know that since the pandemic and stuff, like that venue's actually just has to close its doors now. So like there was a few good little DIY venues, but they're gonna maybe all be gone by the time
Yeah, that's one of the main problems. All these venues will be gone. But especially, I mean, in other countries they're supporting the art, but here they don't care.
Yeah. Even with I think with Brexit, they're going to make it's going to be harder for Irish bands even to go over to the UK.
It's fucking insane. It's fucking Brexit.
Yeah.
Just like it's just stupid. just frustrating. I mean, I'm trying to sort out my Irish citizenship properly, so
Yes.
yeah, so I don't have to.
We'll vouch for you anyway, John. If you're stuck, we'll sign the form for you.
Yeah, do you need sponsors?
Yeah, I've even got T-shirts. They're going to be done in the UK, and the person that's doing it now is saying to me, "Oh, I don't know what's the story going to be with Brexit in January. I'll have to come back to you on that." And I'm going, fucking hell! I didn't even think of that.
Paying extra tax or import duties.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it.
Well, I mean, I think it's just going to turn out to be nothing. It's just all bravado, and they're not going to give up all the British tourists and whatever. But it's just it's a stupid idea, I think. So
just a few people making money somewhere along the way.
Yeah, not looking forward to that. But
so what UK bands should the Irish listeners be listening to at the moment, lads? Name out a few.
Video Nasties for sure.
Video Nasties, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously yourselves, yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, you should give us a go.
I'd recommend you anyway.
Yeah, Gets Worse. They've been doing Power Balance for a good amount of time now. They're class.
What kind of
stop-starty stuff with like tons of vocals and
Horse Bastard as well. They're amazing.
Reach to the band, yeah, ridiculously like steroids fast.
Cool. So that's a few anyway to think about. Okay, so I'll just throw another 2 or 3 ones. Playing live or recording in studios, John?
I like both. But
if you had to choose,
playing live.
Tom?
Live, definitely, from my own perspective.
Get you out.
Yeah, well, at least when it's live, I don't have to listen back to all my mistakes.
You can switch off a bit. Actually, John, on the you go on say.
I was going to say I get more stressed out recording because I'm like super hard on myself trying to get all the drums correct because I know I would be that way to a drummer. If I was mixing it, I'd be like, you can do it better.
Yeah,
so
you're driving yourself.
Yeah, so I have to be super harsh on myself.
I was going to ask you, John, there about did you fill in for an Alan track at one point as well as a live?
Yeah, I filled in on bass for like, I think it was like 4 or 5 shows before.
Yeah.
But it seems to say on all the.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this until all these reviews.
I spotted that. That must have been mental stuff to learn.
Yeah, no, actually, it was pretty fun because I've known Mick since I was like probably 17, 18, and Dave, and it was a lot of fun actually playing with them guys.
Such a great band, like.
Yeah, a lot of fun. But I see Mick every now and then because he lives in America now.
Okay.
So every time like Napalm's over in LA, whatever, gets to hang out with Mick, which is really cool. But I do NAFAC's really good as well. I got Dave sent me that the other day. So
yeah, it's class. Or like unreleased stuff, or
no, the new record.
Yeah, it's savage. Yeah, and they're banging out stuff every kind of 2 or 3 years still to this day, which is really cool because the quality just never drops with them. Like,
yeah, they're going all out with the.
I see they did a cover of Power Slave by Iron Maiden a few years back, and it was great. That was great.
And fill in the blank here, lads. Popular music today is, start with you, Tom.
Loud. Actually, no, it's not loud anymore. Spotify's making it quieter. It's whatever people like, whatever they like. I can't judge.
That was a positive one. I was expecting something else now.
Diplomatic.
Very Go on, John.
I've got no idea what popular music is, to be honest. So.
It's napalm death.
Oh, yeah.
Should be. And lastly, what was the best advice you were given? Tom?
Let Tom have that first.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Best advice you were given?
I have no idea.
It'll come to you.
It definitely wasn't give up on your dreams anyway, because you're gunning for it.
I don't know, actually. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to say my dad once told me it's the classic sales thing, isn't it? Like, under promise and over deliver. So as long as I keep that in the back of my mind,
That's nice.
that's,
That's pretty
actual
cool.
genuine answer rather than a meme of an answer. So
John, you will be forgiven if you just walk away to follow that, to try and beat that one. Go on.
Actually, I think, I can't remember who told me it. I think it might have been Dan Lelker, but
Nice name drop. Yeah, good.
if you smoke too much weed or eat too much edibles, drink orange juice because it saves you. It really works, actually. Anything like acidic, it saves you. It's amazing.
Get the sugars back up.
yeah, that's more of a CMA answer.
Oh, fucking brilliant. I love it. So, lads, you've been listening to Corrupt Moral Altar. All your stuff is available on Bandcamp, correct?
Yes.
And where else can people find your music?
APF Records.
APF Records, Grant.
And all the other streaming things.
You're up on Spotify, yeah. And
Go to
iTunes.
Bandcamp and buy it.
Yeah, go on to Bandcamp. Merch is up in Bandcamp as well, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think we personally have any merch, but
It's
Well,
on a...
yeah, actually, do you know what? Buy it from Bandcamp if it's a Bandcamp Friday, but if not, go to the APF Big Cartel because then they don't get charged.
Okay.
They don't get charged the rates or whatever.
And if shit comes back to normality, is there a chance that you will be touring this EP
In Cork.
in Cork?
Yes.
Will you consider an Irish state? You haven't played Ireland, obviously.
We haven't played that yet. No, I'd love to come over though. I came over many years ago with Dragon Sunlight. I used to do like lights for them, and I had a great time. Did 4 shows. Yeah,
Would you consider it?
yeah, definitely. If someone, any Irish promoters listening, please put us on in Ireland.
Man, this is the whole point of the show as well. That's why we're talking to you, lads.
Please.
Get it done.
John's meant to be coming over to Ireland fairly soon, I think.
Yeah, July now.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I think Napalm Show's got rescheduled for July, I believe.
And that
We'll
is
see you
in
there.
Limerick, Dublin, and Belfast.
Think so, yes.
Would that be right, Jack?
I think
I
so,
thought
yeah.
there's
yeah.
no Cork
We'll
date
get
there.
the Limerick one. No.
Yeah, we'll go up to the Limerick one anyway, 100% for that.
We'll maybe try and sneak over in the suitcases.
Tom, you're more than
Yeah.
welcome, man.
We'll get you a bottle of Desperado at the Limerick League camp.
Excellent.
So that's it, lads. Thanks a million for coming on the show. Much appreciated, John and Tom of Corrupt Moral Altar. The new EP is called Patiently Waiting for Wonderful Things. Get it. It is outstanding. And thanks, Jack, for joining me on the show.
Pleasure.
Subscribe to the Metal Cell on YouTube. And thanks again for listening. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers, man.